The most dangerous woman in this whole story never even opened her front door. Think about that. Police lights outside a mansion at 2 a.m. An undefeated world champion, a woman who's never looked scared in her life, allegedly crying at a gate in front of strangers, and the one person everybody expected to come out swinging said nothing, just picked up a phone. And by the end of this, you're going to wonder if the woman crying at that gate is really the victim at all. Welcome back to Celeb Spill. Come sit down, because tonight is not your regular messy online drama night. Everything I'm about to tell you is allegedly, reportedly unconfirmed. Nobody's spoken on the record. But I've been up all night connecting these dots, and the pattern is loud. So drop your gut reaction in the comments as we go. I read them in real time, and I want to watch your mind flip the same way mine did. Let's get into it. Picture the kind of neighborhood where nobody even hears a car door slam too loud. Gated. Private. The type of place where people pay millions specifically so this exact chaos never touches their front lawn. Peace and quiet is the whole product. So when neighbors allegedly heard shouting near the entrance in the dead of night, somebody refusing to leave, refusing to lower their voice, the temperature was already way past normal. But here's the detail everybody skips right past. Communities like this have private security whose entire job, their only job, is making problems disappear quietly before they ever reach a police line. That's what the money buys. So if real officers got called in anyway, somebody wanted this on the record. Somebody decided this would not be handled quietly. And the second you realize that, this whole thing stops looking like an accident and starts looking like a plan. Now, here's the part breaking people's hearts. Claressa, the undefeated one, the fearless one, the woman who's never looked rattled in front of a camera in her career, allegedly seen out there emotionally overwhelmed, falling apart at a gate, in public, in a moment nobody was ever supposed to catch on film, and everybody's rushing to call it heartbreak. But baby, let me ask you something and really sit with it. A woman with that much control, that much discipline, does not lose it in public over nothing. So what if she didn't come there to cry? What if she came to confront somebody and it went completely sideways on her? Think about it. Every fight she's ever walked into, she's ice cold, fully in control, no fear on her face. Whatever happened at that gate cracked something years inside a real boxing ring never could. That's not heartbreak. That's something breaking that was never supposed to break. And that alone changes who the victim in this story actually is. Meanwhile, Remy allegedly never even stepped outside, didn't yell back, didn't engage with a single second of it. Instead, reports suggest she went straight to lawyers, straight to paperwork, straight to a restraining order, bypassing the shouting like it wasn't even happening. Now, at first, that sounds like a woman simply guarding her peace. And maybe it was, but sit with this one more second. Most people in the heat of a moment like that react with emotion first and logic a distant second. Remy allegedly skipped the emotion entirely and went straight to the filing. That is not how somebody behaves when they got caught off guard. That's how somebody behaves when they saw this exact night coming from a mile off. And here's what nobody's saying out loud. You don't move on paperwork that fast, that clean, unless it's already halfway written. So the real question isn't what happened that night. It's how long has Remy been ready for that night to finally arrive? And then there's Papoose, inside the whole time, quiet, completely out of frame, completely out of the story in real time. No stepping out to calm anybody down. No statement. Not one public word while two women handled the entire fallout in front of the whole internet. Now people love to call a man's silence maturity. Oh, he's staying above it. He's the bigger person. But silence at this exact moment in a situation this loud, that's not peace. That's a choice. And a choice always has a reason sitting behind it. So here's the part that made me sit straight up. What if the silence isn't him staying out of it? What if the silence is the story? What if he's not talking because the second he opens his mouth, he answers the one question all three of these people are very carefully dancing around? Flip it. If he was the one out there breaking down at that gate, do you really believe the silence would look this comfortable, this convenient, this suspiciously perfectly well timed? Okay, let's line the timeline up because this is where it gets suspicious fast. Weeks of Remy allegedly saying nothing publicly while rumors ran absolutely wild everywhere else while other people fought her battles for her in the comments. Dead silence from her. And then right when the tension allegedly hit its absolute peak, legal action appears out of nowhere, almost overnight, almost too perfectly on cue, lay it out like evidence on a wall. Week 1, silence. Week 3, rumors boiling over. Then boom, paperwork, police, a restraining order all at once. That is not a woman losing her temper in a heated moment. That reads like a woman who was watching quietly the whole time, gathering exactly what she needed and choosing her precise moment to strike, then striking hard the second she finally moved. So here's the twist nobody's sitting with. What if those quiet weeks weren't patience at all? What if they were the collection phase? Every screenshot, every comment, every receipt saved somewhere the whole time, just waiting for the one night it would all finally matter. And the second real legal steps entered this story, everything shifted instantly. Because this stopped being simple relationship drama the moment actual paperwork got involved, the moment real institutions got pulled in. Commentators are already calling it a genuine turning point. And here's exactly why legal action does something a caption or a comment section never could. It forces people to take the whole thing seriously overnight. A screenshot you can laugh off. A restraining order. That's a document with a date on it. That's real. And reputation-wise, that's a completely different kind of damage. You can survive being called messy online for a season. That fades. People scroll past. Next week, there's new drama. But surviving an alleged legal filing, allegedly involving police showing up at your own gate, that tells a whole different story to the public. And that story sticks around a lot longer. Because now it's not she said. Now there's paperwork with a timestamp, and paperwork doesn't get bored and move on the way the internet does. And think about who's watching this play out. Brands notice, sponsors notice, future opponents notice. You better believe the next person she faces is already thinking about how to use this. Promoters notice because promoters sell a story, and police at the gate is not the story they signed up to sell. This didn't just stay in the group chat, baby. This allegedly walked straight out of the drama and into the business side of her career. And that is a door that does not close easy once it swings open. And here's what stings the most. Claressa built her entire name on discipline, years of championships, historic wins, a legacy earned the hard way, one grueling fight at a time inside that ring while people doubted her every step of the way. She earned every inch of that respect. Nobody handed it to her. And now, allegedly, all anybody wants to talk about is one emotional night outside a gate that has absolutely nothing to do with boxing. That's the cruelest math in all of fame. You can spend a decade building something real, something earned in blood and sweat and early mornings nobody clapped for, and one controversial night hijacks the entire headline overnight. It's not fair. It was never fair, but that's exactly precisely how this machine works every single time. The grind is quiet, the mess is loud, and loud always wins the algorithm. Her supporters are begging her to let it go, to focus back on the career, to not feed it. And honestly, that's good advice. But here's the trap. Once the internet catches the scent of a story like this one, it does not let go easy. No matter how many titles you're holding, no matter how many belts are in your trophy case, you can't out-train a rumor. You can't knock out a headline. And nobody ever remembers the quiet years of discipline as loud as they remember one messy night caught on somebody's phone at 2 a.m. That's the part that should scare every single person watching this who's ever built something they're proud of. So here's where it all sits right now. More questions than answers. 3 people who allegedly all have completely different versions of the exact same night, and not one of them lining up. Some of you are going to be Team Remy, smart, calculated, protected her peace the right way. Some of you are going to give Claressa grace for one human moment that went public against her will. And some of you are stuck on Papoose like me, wondering exactly what that silence is protecting him from. But here's the thing that genuinely gives me chills. 3 people this famous, all choosing to go completely silent at the exact same time. That's not a coincidence. That's an agreement. And an agreement means all 3 of them know something we don't. And they've quietly decided none of us are ever supposed to find out what it is. Nothing's confirmed yet. So hold your final verdict. But tell me below, who are you really side-eyeing tonight? If you made it this far, you're Spill family now, so subscribe, because this one is far from over, and I'll see you the second the next piece drops.